Whoa, welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. The NBA playoffs will be exciting. They will be exciting. Judgment Day is upon a lot of these guys and judgment on their careers. And folks, I know a lot of these players like SGA, he just came in, I think in the 2020s. So I don't really want to beat up on him, right? But we'll talk about that in a minute. But the Anthony Edwards and the Jokers, these guys like this, you know, these guys are supposed to be in the 2020s, and this is their era. Greek Freak. I know it's hard to say anything about Greek Freak and Joker because they won championships, but we got to be realistic, folks. I don't think Joker and Greek Freak, they came in around about the same time, if I'm not mistaken. Joker came in 14. And I think Giannis came in I want to say 15. Guys, that's like 10, 11 years. That's one championship. And we can kind of excuse, you know, the 2 10s because, you know, the Cavs and the Warriors had these loaded teams. So we can kind of excuse that. You know what I'm saying? We really don't look at guys, you know, first, I don't know, 4 or 5 seasons. They're just coming into the NBA. They're developing and things like that. But we can't excuse the 2020s, folks. And I know they each won one championship in the 2020s. But again, this is 10 and I think 11 years, if I ain't mistaken, for Greek Freak and Giannis in the league. And one championship apiece. As for SGA and the next Michael Jordan, Anthony Edwards. Let's talk about Anthony Edwards first, right? Because this is a funny dude, right? This is a funny, loudmouth, want to smoke type of dude, right? This is what this guy is. For him, I don't expect him to win a championship. But I do expect him to do big things in the playoffs, folks. Okay, wasn't they saying this nonsense last year about him? You know, only him and Michael Jordan put up such and such stats in the playoff series. I mean, it's just so ridiculous, folks. I forget what it was because it's not memorable. The stuff he does really isn't memorable. And I remember a lot of those games last year, him handing the ball off to somebody else at the last minute throwing the ball to somebody else at the last minute because he didn't want to shoot. But this is what I'm looking at for Anthony Edwards. For this guy to play solid in the playoffs, I don't want to hear no excuses. If these guys want to live and die by the three, that's what it's going to be. I don't care when this guy, you know, oh yeah, man, he scored 45. He's the youngest player. I don't care about that. I don't care about a single game. I want this guy to be consistent, go out there. He's the leader of the team. Put this team on his back, carry them, and be a leader. It don't matter if they win or lose, okay? That's a simple fact. I don't want all this girl talk from him, all this whining and crying and making up all these excuses. When you're the leader of the team and you want to be a top 5 player in the NBA, you don't make up excuses, right? You don't make up excuses. If you want to go down to LeBron James track, go ahead. But you're not going to want that kind of smoke later on in your career from the fans. They're not going to respect you. You need to take accountability for your actions. And if you take accountability, I think you'll have big time moments in the playoffs. You just will. I just think. But if these guys, you know, they're not held to a standard, they don't have to take accountability for their actions. To me, they're never going to be big time players as far as them having all time great playoff series. Right? So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I don't care if they win the series. I don't care if they don't go to the finals. That doesn't bother me, right? Who else were we talking about? Joker? No, we're gonna get back to it. It was somebody else. I forget which one it was. Ja Morant. Ja Morant. Wow. Well, I don't think anybody is really expecting too much out of Ja. Nobody is expecting anything from this studio gangster, right? It's a lot of dudes that I call Ja Morants now. You know, the suburbial black kids. You know, you remember the show, what was this show called? Malibu's Most Wanted, right? And they used to get on the white kids from suburbia who try to be gangster. You know, who try to live that life in the streets, and they was from the burbs. So that was a Malibu's Most Wanted type of dudes back in the day, right? And now it done came to black kids, right? Now it done came to black children who we got to call Ja Morants, aka Malibu's Most Wanted, right? Because this is the new, these are the new thugs now, right? The suburbial black children. I'm not trying to say that they all got the rich or they got a silver spoon in their mouth, but they damn sure act like they're from what was in the late 80s, the 90s, which was a bloodbath, and even the early 2000s. More black children grow up in the suburbs today than any other time. There is less black people living in the cities or in the city limits, especially the big cities, than since the cities got built. So I know a lot of these black kids want to put on this image, like, you know, like the Ja Morants, like, because they're black. They feel an obligation to act like they're thugs, an obligation to feel like they missed being without, right? I'm trying to tell you, I was born in the damn projects. Born in the damn projects. When I came home from the hospital, I was in the projects. Growing up in the summertime, when school was out, you ate one time a day. Once a day. You mess around, go to jail if you did that to a child today. And the only reason why I like school is because we could eat breakfast and lunch in school. And I'm not trying to tell you a sob story, but, you know, even black people or black children, whatever, should be feeling offended by these type of studio gangsters and these suburbial black children who ain't doing nothing but perpetrate. Okay, they didn't grow up like that. They didn't grow up like that. And be happy you didn't grow up like that. So let's get back on that. This like coincides with the LeBron James story, right? Remember I did the LeBron James story, right? How, you know, he grew up and, you know, he grew up in the hood and all this stuff all his life, only to find out he went and lived upper middle class when he was in 4th grade until he graduated high school. What was it, like, what was it, like 8? I think it was like 8 years old. Yep. They took him from his mama, and he grew up upper middle class since he was 8 years old, 4th grade. Yeah, LeBron James made it up out the hood, right? Mm-hmm. Or the way they talk, like he, you know, his mama made it up out of the hood because of what she did. No, folks. This guy was rescued when he was a damn baby. He didn't even hit puberty yet, and he was rescued. He didn't even hit puberty. 8 years old? I mean, the story sounds stupid because who is trying to recruit kids in the 4th grade to play on a football team? It's ridiculous. Well, the stories they tell is ridiculous. So yeah, Ja Morant can surprise everybody because I'm not expecting nothing from this guy. Maybe him toting guns during the playoffs, going to a strip club. That's all we're expecting. So if you want us to expect something different, if you want to make a name or a better name for yourself, if you want to go down in the history books, well, why don't these guys go out and challenge Michael Jordan's 63 points in a playoff game? Why don't they go challenge that? It's supposed to be the easiest time to score. Why don't they go challenge that? These are the most skilled players of all time. How come they don't go challenge that mark? So, like I said, don't be surprised if Ja Morant is on some kind of trading block when the season ends, when the playoffs ends, because it's obvious that he wants to get out of Memphis. Now, I don't know where he wants to go, but the chatter will be he wants out of Memphis to go somewhere. I don't know. Maybe they'll get rid of Kyrie in Dallas and put Ja Morant with AD. Something like that. I'm not sure. But I really don't know what I can say about this guy if he don't do nothing. It's just, we don't expect nothing from this guy anymore. He's a fake. He's a phony. This guy, his first 3 years potential was basically off the chain, unstoppable. And he left Zion Williams in the dust. Let's talk about Greek Freak. Okay. Obviously, he's going to get a pass because to me, I got my own opinion. You guys can go with what the media says. That's fine. I already know what the media is about, right? So, and not only that, I said the NBA has zero credibility to me. Zero, zilch, nothing. These fake injuries, these low managing, all this stuff, they have no credibility at all, folks. So if you want to follow their latest injury report, by all means, go ahead. I don't. I'm not going to. They haven't earned in this era to be trusted. So again, Greek Freak, he's going to get a pass because, lame time, faked a blood clot. I mean, could you have came up with something original? So you go out and steal Wemby's shit, right? You say, oh, Wemby did it. And, everybody, told a Care Bear story for him and sent him roses and flowers. And I'm going to use that too. Lame Time said, I'm going to use that too. Why not? He had to find a way to, it couldn't be no injury, folks. It had to be the biggest Care Bear story you could put out there. Oh man, that's just so unfortunate, man. I hate it for Dame, man. I'm praying for Dame, man. I can't believe it. You had these dudes out here, man. They just went along with the story. They didn't even question it. They didn't even question the fact that these guys are supposed to have the best nutrition, the best doctors, and the best medicine. Meaning, how the hell are you getting blood clots if you have those things? It makes zero sense. And why would you get shut down the entire season? If you have the best nutrition, the best medicine, and the best doctors, why not? I'll see you in the playoffs. We'll check back with you when the playoffs start. No, folks. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Because this, I tried to tell you before, we live in a society where the people today, where we're supposed to be living futuristic, this is supposed to be the information age, this is supposed to be the technology age. But in 2025, the people are dumber today than the people were in 1940, in 1820. And I'm not even calling them dumb back then. I'm just saying if they had any, I don't know, the word dumbness to them, the people today are way dumber. Not even close. Because again, there's no way he was going to get in the playoffs and go anywhere. He wasn't going to go anywhere. All he was going to do is choke it up, and that's it. And I hate to be like, a whole big conspiracy thing, but man, this is looking all too familiar with Greek Freak. They wasn't going to go nowhere. They started the season bad. It was no excuse for them not to be contending for the number one seed. 2 top 75 players. Who are the 2 top 75 players in the East on the same team? Oh, okay. And that's why I said, folks, there's no reason for them to not be contending for that number 1 seed when the season started until it ended. Until it ended. And they were odds on favor to win the championship last year. When they got Dame, and they wasn't too far off at the beginning of this season. The Milwaukee fans should feel betrayed. When I heard that, I was like, really? A blood clot? Come on, man. Really? You gonna use the same thing that Wemby used? Man, that's why I said the people today are dumber than ever. And this is going to be the new thing. And what's going to happen, the blood clot is going to be the new excuse now. Two done used it. Now, in the future, all these good players are going to use it. And they're going to be like, well, they can't be lying because, he has it. He has it. This star player has it. And then all these stupid doctors are going to come forward and be like, oh, yeah, it's because of this. And it's because of these dudes. No. They ain't going to do nothing in the playoffs. And the money they're making, they're still in front of fans. You're supposed to be coming through. And look, folks, everybody's not going to win the championship. Everybody's not going to win it. But when you're sitting up there and you're going out like an OG and you're putting up these stats on these better teams that beat you, that's different. You're going down with a fight. You're going down with the ship. That's all there is to it. You're going down with the ship. You're going down like an OG, even though you lost. That's what you get paid for. That's why you're supposed to be, an all-time great. Top 75 player. You ain't supposed to lose because you always injured. Oh, man, if I wasn't injured, man, if Dame wasn't injured, man, if Giannis wasn't injured, if this dude wasn't injured, then what are you getting paid all this money for? Is this a tax write-off for the companies? I mean, for the organization? Is it a tax write-off? What is it for that you're giving these guys all this money? Nobody wants to see them make all this money for putting up stats in a regular season. People pay all this money, and you're supposed to be giving them all this money as an owner because they're going to go out there and give it their all as an all-time great. Put on all-time great performances, whether they win or they lose. That's what all-time greats do. It's ridiculous. This Dame, he done got to me like the Anthony Edwards now, because you guys know I ain't got no respect for that guy, Anthony Edwards. So this Dame, he done got to me like Anthony Edwards now, because I think that was coward what he did. Coward. And again, I could vibe with it if these guys have a history of it. But Joker, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. And like I said, what would this be? 11 years in the NBA? And if you don't win a championship this year, one championship, huh? 0 statistical titles, huh? And if you don't beat a 50-win team this year, has never beat a 50-win team. So, I mean, where do we go from there with this guy? If those scenarios play out, folks, that again, this year he doesn't beat a 50-win team. He doesn't win a championship. And Scap is going to be his cheerleader, because Scap bends over and, takes it from Joker and his brother, I guess. Look, this is the elephant in the room for me. This is what caps it off. Not the way Joker plays, nothing like that. It's the fact that he doesn't demand another great player, another Hall of Fame caliber player. When have we heard that? So he let Gordon, Porter Jr., and Murray, the three busted up injured stooges. Let me say that one more time. The three busted up injured stooges sign these big contracts, knowing he could have let one of them go. I would have let Porter Jr. get the hell out of there after that performance he put on last year in the playoffs. Brick City. Nope. So to me, when I see that, and even though Scap, he wants to buy time for Joker and the nonsense that's going on with him, he's not telling you guys that he wants to play with these guys. He don't want to play with nobody else. These are like his brothers, and that's fine with me, folks. It's okay. I'm not going to knock that. But at the same time, we can't criticize these guys because we already know what they are. Busted up and hurt. That's what they are. That's all we're going to get from them. So to me, again, if he wants to play with him, that's fine. But to me, he don't want to win championships. And that might be another reason why he don't want to play with any other great players, because his stats will go down. But even if that's not the case about the stats, the fact is, he don't want to win championships, folks. And it's not a super team playing with another great Hall of Fame player. It's not a super team. It's not. Giannis is doing it, which we saw how that worked. You know, Kobe did it with Paul Gasol. I'm just saying that might be the only thing he needs is another great player. And he's a 3-time MVP. He's the leader of the team. And all he has to say is, I want these dudes out of here. Even if I had to get rid of Gordon and Porter Jr., they both got to go for me to get what I need. But on the other hand, I could get rid of, maybe get rid of Murray. I don't know. Why not go play with Giannis? Or Giannis come play with you? Well, it's too late now. he messed that up. So I really don't know who he would play with. I don't think, Shea's trying to do that. And, people thought maybe Luka and him. So it's pretty much over for him. He sealed his fate, and that's it, folks. He's going to be known for a dude that won one championship. Maybe he gets another MVP. He won 3 to 4 MVPs, and that's it, folks. To me. And you'll have Scat crying every other day for some help. He don't want no help. Or he would have got it alone. The organization don't get you help unless you want help. Okay? That's all there is to it. He don't want no help. And that's fine with me. He don't want to go play with these cats. Maybe he don't like these cats the way they, carry themselves in this era or whatever like that. But he don't want to win championships. To me, I think the Knicks have a better chance of winning a championship than Denver. So we'll see what happens. But and I will speak about SGA. The thing about SGA, he's not in a bad position. But you being in the MVP position, and 2 years in a row you're the number 1 seed. If you don't get to the finals, I don't care about you winning or not, but if you don't get to the finals, I don't know, folks. They're going to be saying, he's an all-time fraud. I know that's mean, but still, man. But still. Especially if somebody comes and beats him 4-2, 4-1 or something like that, before he even gets to the finals, they're going to be saying this guy's too nice. Okay, when we talk about Boston, it's not an individual thing, but what I will say is, if they don't make it back to the finals, that finals run, their championship is in line for me. That's in line with the bubble championship, for real. Because they played nobody last year, and now they have to basically play those same teams that supposedly got hurt last year, except for the Bucks, really, right? Because Dame is hurt, so they're going to run through them. But what I'm trying to say is, a lot of them teams that were so-called hurt last year in the East, they're not going to be this year. So they're going to have to earn. That's what's going to be so much more to see them. I'm not saying they have to win the finals, but to see them having to earn their way to the finals this year, that's going to be exciting, folks. That's going to be exciting. Let's see what the Cavs are going to do. Is Donovan Mitchell a fraud? I don't care if they win or if they lose. If they don't make the finals, I'm talking about the way he plays. Is he going to be able to take over? Is he able to go down with a fight? That's the stuff I'm looking for, folks. A lot of this stuff just ain't got to do with losing. It's the way you lose. That's what it's about. The way you lose. Who else? Of course, the Lakers. Oh my goodness. Well, we all know what's going to happen, folks. That team I think, is more loaded than that Dallas team last year that went to the finals. So it's you got Reeves, LeBron, Luka Doncic. You got Rui. That team is loaded. Now the defense isn't there. It's not on the level of Dallas as far as defense. But if they don't make it to the finals, we don't care. Dallas made it to the finals. Kyrie was able to take Luka to the finals. Now, I ain't trying to say he carried him, but he was right there with him. And so if LeBron James can't do the same thing that Kyrie did, and Kyrie didn't have an Austin Reeves. And in my opinion, he didn't have a Hachimura. He didn't have him. One of them type of guys. So they're going to be all over LeBron James. They're going to be all over him if he doesn't get to the finals with Luka. And Luka got there last year with Kyrie. We'll see what happens. A lot of people don't have those expectations. To me, LeBron's like one of those guys that if he don't make the finals this year, he should just retire. Kevin Durant, go ahead and retire. To me, I hate to say it, I think if Curry don't make the finals, he really needs to retire. These guys need to go. Whatever guy these guys don't make the finals, they need to go. And some of them need to go anyways, even if they do make the finals. James Harden, he needs to go. Kawhi Leonard, get the hell out of here. Paul George, get the hell out of here. And the reason why they're not leaving is because they can steal easy money. Because the organization, they know when these guys retire, the NBA is the damn WNBA. Nobody cares about these international players. They don't. A lot of these up and coming international players or up and coming American players in the game in the 2020s is still in the shadows of a lot of guys from the 2010s in the 2000s that did it wrong, were losers, and didn't do it right, and really didn't do nothing but put up stats. I'm not going to say no names, but these guys in the 2020s, the guys that's coming out, whether they're international or American, they're in those guys' shadows. It's kind of sad. But this is how bad this NBA is today. So for me, that pretty much sums it up. I won't really say nothing about the Rockets. We'll see what they can do. I don't believe in them until you can show me. Now, I'm not trying to beat up on a Rockets fan. Just show me something, and I'll be a believer. I mean, I won't talk about the Clippers. We know what's going to happen with the Clippers. I really don't care. So that's about it. I mean, I can see Detroit knocking off some higher seed teams. And that's it, man. That's the judgment day for the NBA to me. When these playoffs come and they go, I don't want to hear about these. I might stop watching the NBA next year because I don't want to hear about these old faces. See these old faces, and I don't want to see these new faces not do nothing in the playoffs. Who cares about the regular season? I don't care. If dudes is low managing all damn year, the regular season means nothing. Nobody cares about it. Who cares? It's the playoffs. I'm not holding no players accountable if they don't win the championship. But some of these players need to get to the championship to validate their position in NBA history. I don't care about no regular season. This is ridiculous. And some of these players that's washed and old, they need to go and sit down. Nobody cares. It didn't happen. Or whatever did happen, it happened. But it's over. It's over. Quit trying to steal the spotlight of these young people trying to come up. These young players. It's ridiculous. Bunch of has-beens. And these new NBA players, they need to go out there in these playoffs and make a name for themselves. I don't want to hear about no damn team. I want to see what you did in the playoffs. I don't want to hear about no damn team.